budget. So I think the audience is ready for you to drive right into your presentation, Mike, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Lovely. I really appreciate it, Craig. And thank you everybody for being here. I'm Mike Pernay with Ethos Systems, and I'm going to give you all a little bit of a background about us and about the solutions that we represent, but mainly focused on what's called Sage Intacct. So we're going to go through that and talk about our practice. Give me 1 second here, and I'll share my screen. And get this out of the way, get that out of the way. All right, awesome. So, yes. So, like I said, we're with Ethos Systems. My name is Michael Pernay. I'm the VP of Sales here, and we focus strictly on the construction and real estate industry, and specifically all of Well, we do the United States and Canada. So that's what our primary focus is, and we have, our experience. We've been around. We've done about 3,500 successful implementations, and we've been around for about 35 years. We are in Canada, so we have employees in the US and Canada. Also, what we're going to have is, we understand the Canadian market, and we successfully implement Sage 100 Contractors, Sage 300 CRE, and Intacct there. Also, we're an award-winning Sage business partner. We're highly qualified and trained, and we specialize in the construction and real estate industry. So this is, the only markets that we really go into. So it's something that we know like the back of our hand. So we're very, very proud of that. And then also a little bit about our process. So the way that we operate is, opportunity, implementation, relationship, experience. What this then leads around is our 5 core values, which are going to be, that went a little too fast for me there, our 5 core values, which is going to be promise keepers, customer-centric, team players, professional, and problem solvers. That's how we base our criteria for hiring anybody at Ethos Systems. We also have a very specific implementation methodology. We're going to take your project, and we're going to build out a schedule and manage it all through a smart sheet. So we take you from start to finish, and you're able to check that at any point that you want. So you're able to see exactly where your project is, exactly where your project is, and any upcoming tasks, things like that. We also provide ongoing support. We have a full support staff. So at any point, if people need anything from us, they can go right to our email. A ticket's created, we get over to them, and help resolve their case. We're also going to have many free webinars, trainings, things like that, tips and tricks for software, year-end close helping, report writing assistance, things like that. Those are going to then all be done via our webinars, and then we will put those on our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of videos on our YouTube channel all around Sage 100 Contractors, Sage 300 CRE, and Sage Intacct. Excuse me. And then we also have, Sage Intacct, you've heard me speak about this a little bit. So what this is going to be is it's a construction-specific cloud-based accounting solution. It also has open APIs, and it's going to play very well with others. But really the best thing about this solution is that you're going to have that single source of truth, and its ease of use as well. So it's something that we're very big on. And here's the big picture with Intacct again. So we want to reduce manual data entry, want to increase profit with real-time budget and actual project data, real-time visibility into key metrics. We're going to reduce manual invoice processing. Again, as I mentioned, the open API, so connecting with existing solutions, whether that be a Sage project management solution or something outside of it, we play well with others. So if they allow for the integration, we can certainly make that happen. And then also for those that are multi-entity, if you're a little tired of having multiple charts of accounts for each of your entities, the good news is with Intacct, you have one chart of accounts, and then we utilize what's called dimension accounting, which is going to help us essentially tag transactions to specific entities and locations, divisions, departments, classes, so on and so forth. So you can actually run separate financials and consolidated financials just by filtering. It's something that people who are multi-entity really, really enjoy. And these are going to be the top line highlights that we're going to go through. So deployment, updates, dashboards, integrations, reporting. We already talked a little bit about multi-entity, and we'll hit on the real estate module as well. So from a deployment standpoint, it's much different than the current, we call them foundational products for Sage, where, they're server based or anything like that. This is going to be a full cloud-based solution. And you're going to then have your quarterly updates. So 4 times a year, there's an update that gets released and it is deployed to your system. It usually happens on a Friday night when people aren't typically working, takes a little bit, about 2 hours or so, but all those features are there. What we do at Ethos Systems is we're going to do a webinar around all those releases, specifically to the construction and real estate divisions, or construction real estate clients. Because in those releases, there's a lot that goes into them. Like we're talking 40, 50 different functionalities that are added, and they're not all pertaining to construction. So what we do is we go through them, we find what we believe is going to be best for our client base, and we will then do a webinar on it, show people how to use it, how to enable it, so on and so forth. So yeah, a little bit different than the other products where, there's a couple updates every year. Maybe it's some payroll tax stuff or, minor updates. Another large thing about Intacct is going to be its dashboards. So there's an unlimited number of dashboards that you can have, and it's really what you're going to be able to use to tailor all reporting to employees, entities, departments, divisions, locations, etc. So if you have project managers that need to see specific reports, great news. You can set up a dashboard specifically for them. They'll be able to log in, check their WIP report, look at their over/under, get all the information that they need, see any change requests where they're pending, whether they're pending, approved, things like that. They'll be able to log in and see that just from, going to the website. Then your controllers, CFOs, accountants will be able to log in and see other information. There's many different dashboards that we can set for you that you can also set up yourself. They're very easy to do, very easy to use. And you can also, as I mentioned, create these specific audiences for them so that, specific users can access specific dashboards. So that's a really big, it's a really big plus for Sage Intacct. And then again, as I've mentioned, the integrations. So creating that single source of truth with Sage Intacct, whether you're using a solution like a Sage CM or a Procore, and you want all that project management field data to come into the office, and you're tired of doing the manual entries, the double entries of change requests or subcontracts or any POs or things like that, all that information is going to flow through. Even the project can come over from those as well, and your project contract. So it really helps eliminate a lot of that double entry, and then it gets things out of emails and using that for, communication and getting things back and forth between the field and office. Now everything's synced up, connected, and you're able to, you're able to see everything that you need right from Sage Intacct. Now the ease of reporting as well. So Intacct has multiple report writers inside of it natively. The main one is going to be the financial reports writer. And it's not like you're going to need to get crystal reports anymore or anything like that. There's also going to be, there's a step-by-step instructions for how to create all these reports. We do classes on how to build reports. And you're easily able to duplicate a report that you like, and maybe you want to add a couple columns to it. Good news, you can duplicate it, you add those columns in, deploy it, set it to a dashboard, you're good to go. Also, whenever you export to Excel, I know a lot of our client base knows this. When you export to Excel out of some of the foundational products, you're going to get these weird merged cells for whatever reason, and it doesn't look anything like the report that you're running on screen. The nice thing is with Intacct, when you do export it to Excel, it looks exactly the same, down to the conditional formatting. So if you have a conditional formatting set in your report, when you actually export it, it's going to have all that data, those shadings in there. And even when you highlight over it or hover over it, it will then tell you, why it is the color that it is. Also, you're going to be able to email reports out of there. You're actually able to schedule reports. You can do report groups. So if you have 6, 7, 10, 20, 50 reports that you need to run at the end of every month and then have those dispersed to specific people, you can create a report group and then schedule it. And what Intacct will do is it'll run all of those reports based on the filters and criteria that you have set, and it will then email them off as a PDF to that designated person. And it'll just do that automatically. So that's something else with the ease of reporting that people really like to utilize as well. I'd spoken a little bit about this earlier with the multi-entity consolidation, but I can't harp on it enough. We have many clients, especially on the real estate side, but we have many clients that have, 5, 10, 100 entities or more. And they have to have a different chart of accounts for every single one of those entities. And the only way that they're separated out is with a prefix. So 01 is entity 1, 02, and 3, so on and so forth. What we're able to do with Intacct is get rid of all those prefixes, get rid of all those other chart of accounts, create one chart of accounts. And then what we do is we utilize the dimensions. So dimensions, as I mentioned earlier, these are going to be tags on transactions and software. You're able to define what these are. And then when you're entering information, you set the dimensions, and then that information is going to then be allocated correctly across your company. So I can't harp on that, can't harp on that enough, how easy that makes it from the reporting and just getting the information that you need quick and easily. Craig, you got a question?
Yeah, Mike, one of the things that most most construction companies are utilizing in their accounting structure is cost codes.
Correct.
Can each one of those entities have its own cost code structure as well? Is it fixed to one style within the system?
No, so they can have their own cost codes. What you'll do is, so in Intacct, there's what's called so if you have multiple entities, you'll have what's called the top level. And then underneath that, you'll have your separate entities. What you'll do is you'll have a master cost code list via the top level, but then
Right.
inside of each entity, you're able to designate what cost codes you want to be a part of that entity. So you set your master and add the cost codes there, and then deploy them to the entities that you want. And you do that via the entity. So it's easy to do.
Okay, great. Thanks, because that's an important thing for a lot of our clients.
Yep, completely understand that. Completely understand that.
Great.
One other piece of this too is if anybody's in if anybody's in property management, real estate, there is a real estate module for Sage Intacct as well. It's going to be lease-based property management software offering. And if we want to automate calculations like recoveries, fees, or maintenance, you're able to do that. If you want to track maintenance that was done by units, you're able to do that. Rent rolls, all that fun stuff. And it's built into the Sage Intacct platform. It's something that we actually had a hand in developing. So we're very proud of it. And we're very, very happy with it as well. So something I wanted to point out. Now, this next one, I'm going to hope that this goes well. But I have a video that I'd like to show, and I'll talk over it. So it's a little bit of an overview of Intacct. And there's no sound or anything, but again, this is going to show just a quick run through of Intacct, going through the applications and going to one of those dashboards that I was mentioning earlier. So we're also going to talk about the quarterly updates here, but then we have our dashboard. This is the project performance. This is where we're able to look and we're able to see, and I like to point this out real quick. Here at the top are these live tiles. These are actually, you're able to designate what you want these to be. These are KPI trackers, and these will update as data is entered into the software. The bottom ones with the arrows down, it's comparing this month versus last month. So it looks like the change for this month is worse. So we're going to have a red arrow down. I mean, you can even do smiley faces, red flags, frowny faces, thumbs up, thumbs down. So you can set those indicators how you want. Also, something to mention too is the arrow, a green arrow could be down. So maybe like project costs are down. So maybe that'd be a green arrow, not a red arrow. So you're able to personalize it as well. But again, this is just one of the dashboards here, the project performance, showing a filters up there for, we can go forward in time, backward in time, set a location. We can do this by project. You simply click apply after selecting the date, and you'll notice that everything's going to refresh here. And now those live tiles are different. Everything's green, everything's up. That's good. Now, those are also drill downable. So if I want to see those project costs, why are my arrows up? Now I can do my comparison here. So now I can see last month versus this month, and then I can drill down directly to the GL on that cost type of labor. And then I'm able to see all the wage allocations, all my labor allocations that were done for the projects. And I can drill down further, get to the entries, see the cost code, all that fun stuff, what employee it was. I can get all right to that right from this dashboard. And then we're going to have our WIP report right here. So, we're also going to do WIP by project manager. We can then do WIP by job type as well. So we're really just going to be slicing and dicing your information here, how you want it. We're also going to be able to break out profitability for you by job type. We could do that by customer. We could just show it for all jobs. There's quite a bit that we're able to do here. Like this report here, this is just a quick P&L of a customer. We're able to, from that graph or from that chart, we're able to pull this up and now see everything that pertains to that customer for this entity specifically. So again, we're really just trying to, we're trying to give you as much information from these dashboards that's important to you as possible so that you can look at the software, make quick decisions, not have to wait for a report to run, anything like that. Just be able to get in and grab your information that you need. Another report option that you're going to have is going to be this interactive custom reports. So here what we're showing is, and I'll pause it real quick. Here what we're showing is it's a cost overview report. So we're going to show all our cost codes and our cost types for this project. What was our original estimate? Any revisions that we've had? Any approved changes? The total estimate? And then we're going to show all commitments. Then we'll show all commitments by cost code, any changes to those commitments, your total commitments, what's been invoiced via commitment, any open commitments, and then your total costs. So this is just a quick report that comes on a dashboard as well. So now we're able to break out all these costs in many different ways by cost code for your project as well.
Could you, while you're in this area, oh, this is a video. So I was just going to say, I hope that we get to cover a little bit about supply chain and inventory here.
I'm not sure if this video is going to hit on that, but I don't think I have that in this video. But that's something.
Okay, you move forward with what you got, and then we can talk about that later.
Yeah, certainly. Well, on our next one, I can do that for you.
Okay.
On the next one of these, I can do that for you. But let me go back to there. So this is another report that I really enjoy. What this is going to be is project estimate versus actual with variance, but we're breaking it out not only by cost code, but we're breaking it out by cost type. So now what I'm able to see is on my projects is, I hope everybody can read this all right, but I have my parent cost code, child cost code relationship, and then I'm going to be able to break out exactly, so like admin requirements, budgeted about 16,000, came in a little over, there's my variance. Now, if we were just looking at this from a summary level, which most solutions are going to do that, they're not going to break it out at this level of detail. Now I'm able to then see exactly, okay, this was labor, but there's a few other cost codes in this report that actually have overages in materials and labor. So now I'm able to look, and if it's if we're way over via labor, I can go to the project manager and say, hey, did we miss a change order on this? What happened? Why were we $4,200 over here? And then materials, 52 cents. Somebody got sales tax wrong, or shipping came in a little more expensive, something minute. So that's a report that I thoroughly enjoy that report. But we'll keep this going here. All right. This is just showing the other types of dashboards that we do have. This is going to be the controller dashboard. So again, live tiles are here. So as I mentioned, we can have different reports or different dashboards for different people in the organization. So we're looking at our live tiles from revenue, P&Ls, balance sheets, agings, putting all of that right there, for you. And then just giving you a look at projects. So there's some sample projects from this demo database here. And we're going to go into the 5 Oaks storage job and just show you what the project screen is going to look like. Go through the billing aspect of it. What's my billing type? Is this fixed fee, T&M, cost plus? Being able to look at our project summary for the job, which that screen's actually different now. So we get to update this video. Love that. And then we'll also be looking at your cost codes, seeing what your estimate was for the project. So you're able to do all of this here inside of Intacct. Just, set up the job, put in our billing amounts, set up our estimate, brings in our cost codes, and now we're off and running. Then we'll want to set up your commitments and everything as well. All right. All right. And then just for the interest of time, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move over to the next, to our next slides. So just to give you an idea what some of our clients are saying about us, I obviously needed to highlight the good parts of this, but these are, 3 of our clients, and this is what they say about us. So AJ Glass, definitely say that a lot of that success came from the team at Ethos Systems. We love that. showing what we've done for them. And then for Red T Homes, they have much more clarity on their financial statements, which that's a very big plus. And then for Teltech, getting more efficient because they don't have to constantly try to get information from people out in the field. So they have everything is more real time for them. So in all these areas, we were able to save them time, help their processes, make things easier for them.
So that brings up an interesting point, Michael, and that is that a number of our audience members today are basically operating field operations or field services companies. What functionality that you've shown us there is going to be available on a mobile device or tablet?
So honestly, the whole solution is cloud-based. So anywhere you got an internet connection, you can log in, whether you're on a phone or you're on a tablet. But I will tell you, if you got for people in the field, realistically, what we're going to do there is, they could access change orders, they can access change orders, access time and expenses, things like that, purchase orders. But in terms of like work orders and things like that, what I would recommend really is like a Sage Field Operations type of solution, because that's going to directly integrate with Intacct, and we're able to pull that in. That can manage a whole service division, no problem. Down from dispatching to work order completion to payments in the field, customer portal, all that fun stuff. But then what we do from the Intacct side is we're able to pull all that in. So then you can report off of all of it. So it depends on what sort of field functionality you're looking for. Intacct is going to provide you with some of the, base field functionality. But if you're looking for something a little bit more robust, especially if you're doing work orders, Sage Field Operations from a construction management, project management side, you could look at like Sage CM, Procore, those sorts of solutions. If you're looking for daily field reports, journals, meetings, RFIs, transmittals, submittals, all that fun stuff.
Okay. Time cards.
Yep. Well, and then time cards. So you can enter time inside of Intacct. There is an area for the time and expense, and then Intacct does have a payroll module. We also have third-party providers that we work with routinely with Intacct too. So when it comes to payroll and time cards, you're able to designate how you want to how you want to do it.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. And then one other part of this too is because of Ethos Systems, we've been around for a long time, always been in the construction real estate space. We are able to migrate people from Sage 50, Sage 100 Contractor, Sage 300 CRE to Intacct. And we already have it down to, we already have our process down for what we bring over. We still have a full SOW meeting with you to review exactly what it is that you're looking for, what you want us to bring over. Standard, we typically bring over, about 2 years worth of historicals. But if you want to bring over more, we can do it. We just need to scope it out. That's where we talk integrations, things like that as well with you. But we do already have that down. And it's something that I would tell you in the past couple of years, we're getting a lot of current clients that are moving over to Sage Intacct.
So another big question that's going to happen in the construction industry, Michael, as you well know, and that is how about migrating from, say, QuickBooks Desktop or NetSuite or whatever? How does that work?
A similar process. So we're doing that as well. We've done plenty of those. QuickBooks more than NetSuite, but it's the same. We have a process set for that, how to pull the information, get the information into Intacct, and get you migrated over.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. And just kind of a bit of a summary slide. This is what we'd like to say about Intacct. It's going to give you what you need, when you need it, how you need it, wherever you need it. Because again, with the cloud base, mainly from the financial side, that is, but that's how we like to sum up Sage Intacct, how we feel about it. And really, that's pretty much what I had just from an overview of Ethos Systems, who we are, what it is we do, what we offer, and our product, and the Sage product, Sage Intacct, that we represent. I did want to leave time if anybody had any other questions. Craig, if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, and one of the things that we see regularly is companies moving from on-prem or on-prem applications to the cloud-based applications. And that's really what you're talking about here with Intacct being entirely in the cloud. Can you speak to the issue of security and privacy in terms of what you were doing to make sure that that client can feel comfortable with the move to the cloud for all their financials?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sage actually has an entire website dedicated specifically to the security and to the security around Sage Intacct. It's a full website. They talk about everything that they put in place, all the disaster recovery plans that they have, the way that they handle their compliance, the encryptions, their data centers. They have a full website dedicated specifically to all the security that they put around Sage Intacct, so people can feel confident that their data with Sage Intacct is secure and safe and not going to be touched. And also in Canada, I also know in Canada it is exclusively hosted by AWS, or Sage Intacct is on the AWS platform. So I'm sure most people know about that, but you can also look at Amazon Web Services and everything that they provide from a security standpoint, and it's intense, but it's needed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's a saying that we go by, and that in the case of cybersecurity, there's two kinds of companies, or your company falls into one of two categories. You've either been hacked or somebody's attempting to hack you. And
Yeah.
so it's really key, I think, particularly those contractors that that are doing government work, whether it be for municipal government, in provincial government, or the federal government. The governments are starting to demand greater and greater security and proof of security when it comes to the utilization of the applications. And I want to just let the audience know that just because you currently got your applications in a server, on a server in your office, doesn't mean you're going to be more vulnerable if you go to the cloud. On the contrary, to Michael's point about AWS, they are probably the most secure. Well, I don't want to say they are the most secure, but whether it be AWS or Google or Microsoft Cloud Services, the three big names know that if they're going to stay in business, they have to protect the clients and the applications that their clients are using. So thanks for pointing that out, Michael.
Not a problem.
Any questions from the field? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Craig, it's all right. I just have one other thing to point out too. I know I talked about the integrations and open API a little bit. Something else that everybody should know from a security aspect for those that are on the Intacct marketplace. So you can go to marketplace.intacct.com and you'll see everyone who has been vetted through Sage's security. Their integration has been tested. They actually pay to be a part of that. And the security vetting process, I can tell you, as I know people that have gone through it, it's a difficult process, but it's also something that needs to happen. So even all of those products that you see on marketplace.intacct.com have also gone through full security and have gotten the Sage stamp of approval. And those integrations, they don't break when there's upgrades. You don't have to worry about that. They don't, you know that those are secure and good to go. Sorry, Craig. I don't know if anybody else had any questions.
Oh, no problem, Michael. So one of the things I'm going to ask you to do before we wrap up, Mike, is do you prefer Michael or Mike? Or as long as you get called for dinner, you're okay?
Yeah, hey, good one. Yes, it does not bother me.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Nope.
So one of the things that would be great if you could please share a quick email with all of the web links that you've talked about with us, and then we'll make sure that the audience receives that so that they'll be able to just click on your email to go to those locations. That would be terrific. Okay, everyone. Well, listen, I'm told amazingly that almost almost 100% of the audience that was with us at 12 o'clock are still with us now. So that's terrific. So thank you, Michael, for your time. I think we're going to be doing this again, if I'm not mistaken, sometime in the not too distant future.
Yep.
But I'd like to thank everybody in the audience for hanging in there and putting up with me. Anybody that puts up with me for 15 or 18 minutes, however long it was, deserves a medal. But thanks, Mike, and we look forward to doing great work for our clients with the folks from Ethos from this point forward.
Yeah, very happy, very thankful. Sorry, I apologize for the mishap, getting on here late. But if there was anything that I didn't cover or talk about that anybody wanted to see, hear, or wanted information on, if you want to send that over to, send that over to the Net Effect, they can get it over to me. I can get your answers for you, and I will. I'll put that email together with, with the link to the marketplace and then also to the whole Sage security. And I'll put all that, I'll put that together and get it over to you to distribute out.
Terrific, Mike.
Thanks,
Everyone
everyone.
else, have a great rest of your day.
Thank
Stay
you.
well.
Bye-bye.